Year 4 of the Brett Bielema era is upon us in Champaign, bringing back a number of familiar faces, including last year's QB1 through 9 weeks, Luke Altmaier, and Gabe Ackes, the former freshman All-American, highlighting a star-studded outside linebacker room as we welcome you to Memorial Stadium for the annual Fighting Illini spring football game in Champaign. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher, the former Fighting Illini great. Jay Lehman with you. They replaced 13 starters, Jay, from a season ago. A lot of newness, both with the coaching staff and on the field. But I know what you're really excited about is getting a look at what identity we will see in year 4 of Brett Bielema.
Yeah, Brett Bielema has been known for physical football teams on the offensive line, on the defensive line. Over the last 2 seasons, we've seen physicality from that defensive line position. Some NFL guys have gone on to play will go on to play at the next level. But offensive line is where they really struggled last year. We want to see a better physical attack from the Illini offense that's not only going to be able to run the ball at will, but protect the quarterback and give them time to throw the football down the field.
Well, they will be protecting Luke Altmaier, who is back after he had his first season as a full-time starter through 9 weeks a year ago.
Yeah, here's a guy that transferred here from Ole Miss and really took the starting job from day one. Started the first 9 games before getting banged up. And he has the ability to make every football throw on the field. Great touch on the deep ball, can throw the slant routes, has his favorite target, Pat Bryant back, and can extend plays with his legs, not just to run, but to extend pass plays, and was clutch in a couple games down the stretch. Luke Altmaier, the unquestioned leader of this team.
We are excited to see Luke Altmaier and many others make their 2024 debuts in Illini spring football game. Offense and defense, good on good, coming up next. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, the 2024 orange and blue spring game format. No score will be kept, no kick or punt returns, but we will see the kickers under some pressure this afternoon. Field goal shootout at the end of the first and third quarters. Can't wait for that as Brett Bielema joins Brooke Fletcher on the sideline.
Coach, this is the first opportunity for fans to see your team and get ready for the upcoming season, but what are you hoping your players get out of this day today?
Well, this is practice 15. I know it's a spring, but it's our 15th practice, and we've had a steady progression. I thought we got better every day. Certain guys got really better, so I'm excited to see their growth under the pressure of the little crowd today.
Okay, so you mentioned growth. Who's really impressed you so far this spring that we should keep an eye on?
Some newcomers, but also just the growth of Luke Altmaier has been very impressive. Behind him, for sure, Donovan Leary's had his best spring since he's been here. So that, I think, a combination of the O-line, D-line, the growth of that room has been pretty good.
All right, so tell me about this kickoff we're going to see here today.
Well, we're kind of putting the pressure on the kickers, kind of make them go out there and kick all by themselves. So we gave them the wind here on this first one with the wind behind them, so David should do all right. But kind of want to see them perform and do some here in Memorial Stadium. It gusts a lot, so to have the wind today has been a blessing.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, ILL.
Back to you.
That's nice to give the kickers the wind on the first kickoff of spring football.
Give them the win and also say that's the position I'm looking for the most.
Here is David Olano, who played in 9 games last year as the kickoff specialist and puts it out of the back of the end zone. How about that for the first play of the spring game?
Great start for Olano. Had the wind. Nobody running down to recover it, but still solid start for the Illini.
So we will get our first look at the A-team defense and A-team offense. Although, first and foremost here, a little surprise, we're going to see Donovan Leary run out there for the first series on offense. Leary has not taken a snap in a game as an Illini quarterback, but they are thrilled, Jay, with his growth this spring.
Yeah, comes from a family of quarterbacks. His brother Devin Leary played at NC State and transferred to Kentucky. It looks like, and we didn't know if it would be ones-on-ones, it looks like it's the second team offense out there against the first team defense. From what we can tell, there's no depth chart. That's just us speculating what the first and second team may be.
And there will not be any scoring either. So this is what they're trying to do. Good on good.
No hitting the quarterback either, which is tough for a defense.
Hitting the quarterback. Leary back to pass, zips it out. to Corey Rashad, former walk-on, gets out of bounds, and that brings up 3rd and long.
You know, if you're an Illinois fan, having a backup quarterback is critical. You look at the last 2 or 3 years under Brett Bielema, especially last year, John Paddock had to come in for Altmaier the last 4 games of the season. You need a backup that's not only serviceable, but that can win you some games down the stretch, especially when you have an inexperienced offensive line.
Well, this is Donovan Leary's 3rd year in the Illini system under head coach Brett Bielema. He is well studied in the offensive system. And Jay, while he hasn't taken a snap in a live game, they feel confident that he could this year if need be.
You know, listen to Brett Bielema throughout all of spring. His press conferences, we got to talk to him a couple days ago, and it was pretty obvious that Leary is one of the most improved players, regardless of position, this spring. So they're excited about what they see with him. He's got good size, too. Leary's a little bit bigger than Altmaier. 6'2", 205, thick.
Back to pass on 3rd and long. Leary all day to throw, and it goes off the shoulder pads of Ashton Hollins and brings up 4th down.
It's a good ball on the deep dig. That's the 15-yard dig route. That's a 1st down getter for you. Open for Hollins. Hit him right in the numbers. Good ball. You got to haul that in for Hollins. Hollins, a guy that's impressed them this spring, played big at big moments last fall when they needed him.
So they will not go live on the punt return here, but Fabrizio Pinton will make the first punt of the afternoon, crosses the 50-yard line, and that is where the next offensive unit will pick up.
So the first team defense looks solid, but could have easily given up a 1st down. There was the open receiver. I mean, Ashton Hollins was open, just couldn't make the play. Looks like Altmaier will take the first team out.
Altmaier, of course, last year started the first 9 games. It was his first time in college after coming over from Ole Miss, Jay, that he was a full-time starter. You referenced in the open, got injured in the Minnesota game, and then the legends of John Paddock just grew. But Altmaier back now for year 2.
I give Altmaier a lot of credit, right? His ability to say, you know what, I didn't beat John Paddock out when I got back healthy, but I stuck with it. I didn't moan. I was a team guy, and here he is being the first team quarterback in the spring going into 2024.
And he is quarterbacking an offense that replaces 7 starters from a year ago, including leading rusher Reggie Love. So we're getting a look here at Josh McCray running with the ones, and again, no Caden Fagan, who we expect to be at the top of the running back depth chart in the fall, dealing with some rehab of an injury he sustained last season.
Yeah, Caden Fagan got banged up. Josh McCray has gotten banged up as well. You know, had a really outstanding freshman season, and then had over 500 yards in 11 games, and then banged up in 2022 with a knee injury, 2023 with a neck injury, has never been able to get rolling. He's a guy that, you know, gets better as the game gets going on, and he hasn't been able to get those types of carries to get any kind of momentum in a football game.
Altmaier to pass. Goes wide, looking for Malik Elzy, and it is a catch on the far sideline for the 2nd-year wide receiver.
Yeah, showing the arm strength here. You're going to see the deep comeback here, route, and Altmaier throws it to the outside shoulder where it needs to be at. The ball placement perfect there, and you can see Malik Elzy had a question about his hands last season as a true freshman out of Simeon, highly touted recruit. Maybe the most highly touted recruit out of the Brett Bielema era, came down with a catch there, playing with much more confidence this spring.
On 2nd and short, Altmaier on the option, slings it out to Wilcher for a 1st down.
Really like that play. That's basically an option play. So Luke Altmaier's reading, do I give it to McCray? He pulls it out late by reading the defensive end, and the outside linebacker dumps it out to Wilcher. So this is a read play right here. So he's reading that defensive end. He sees Barna break down, and Wilcher's open in the flat, kind of like a pitch play, but it's not a pitch. So you see Barna 43 sucks down, See the back of the corner suck down a little bit as well. He also had an ability to throw the slant if he wanted as well.
Could see Altmaier as a dual threat this season, so we've been told. Has plenty of room here, and now will scoot up the middle, and they'll blow the play dead.
Jay, you're kind of talking about just how confident Luke is under center there. And this season, Barry Lunny and the coaches, they really challenged him to be more decisive. And they've seen great improvements with his progression, overall decision-making. Altmaier, you know, they want him to use last year's failures as fuel and use that to propel him forward this season. But they're very optimistic about what they've seen from him so far this spring.
That's a great point, Brooke. And remember, last year, he was one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the FBS. It's a big reason why they want to see more decisiveness from him at the quarterback position.
So I think if you look at the season, that Penn State game, he had like 4 interceptions, right? And so he starts holding on to the ball more. And so then the sack numbers go up, right? Because he doesn't want to turn the football over. So one thing that John Paddock did better than Altmaier last year when he came to replace him is he got the ball out on time. He went through his progressions much quicker. The internal clock, the processing has got to be faster. We can't be on dial-up. We've got to be on we've got to be on that fiber optic. And I think that's the level they want Altmaier to be at.
Dial-up's what you were using back then.
Yeah, you're a little bit younger than me, so maybe you don't know about dial-up, but they made that sound.
Altmaier over the middle, and he does dial it up there for a first down.
But that kind of dial it up is actually what you want, right? He does dial it up in the processing time much quicker. Now watch, he looks to his left, and he's reading all the way, then he comes off it and able to hit his receiver over the middle of the field.
And that's 2 really nice catches by Malik Elzy.
Yeah, and he's a guy who they say is finally able to let his instincts take over. Barry Lenny talked about that, a lot of offensive guys, right? They have talent, but they're trying to process, they're trying to learn, they're trying to do the play right, line up right, run the route right. When you can let your athletic ability just shine because you got all those basics down, it's when you start to really thrive.
Pitch it, McCray cuts it back up and across the 10-yard line. Maybe just shy of the 5. And remember, at the wide receiver position, they replace their top 2 receiving threats, Isaiah Williams, Casey Washington. Then you could throw Tip Ryman in there at tight end. Those were your top 3 receivers a season ago.
Yeah, he had some production, definitely at the tight end position. He's lucky to have Pat Bryant back. Pat Bryant, at times, last year looked like an all Big Ten receiver in certain games, and other times he just was not as productive as you thought he'd be. Now, when they're in the red zone, this is an area where Barry Lunny improved a lot in 2023. And can you run the football in the red zone when everybody knows you're going to run the football? Up to throw here.
Back shoulder, back of the end zone, and deflected out of play.
Grayson Griffin, phenomenal job on that back shoulder fade to Elzy. Elzy, big body. This is a one-man route. They know exactly where they're going the whole time. And it hits Elzy in the hands here. This is a ball he'd like to bring down before Griffin can get his hand in there.
Well, it is a Illinois secondary that were some babies last year, in the words of second-year defensive coordinator Aaron Henry, but they return a lot of experience. 6, in fact, from the secondary a season ago.
Bringing Wilcher out into the flat and some space over here.
Altmaier goes underneath. The catch is made, fighting for the end zone and stopped short. It was a catch by Kenari Wilcher, and it brings up 3rd and goal.
Like the play design to bring him over to the wide side, then do a crossing drag route. Watch Wilcher here, and makes a catch and going to take a hit by Sabor Kareem. Sabor Kareem, highly touted safety out of Jersey. Wrap up, young fellow, right? This is not high school. You cannot shoulder somebody, even as small as Wilcher, into the ground. You've got to wrap up. And I know Aaron Henry's going to say, hey, wrap up on this play right here. Spins out of it, almost able to get into the end zone.
Well, now they've changed it, 1st and goal. It goes to McCray, and he will tiptoe into the end zone. A great push from this offensive line that the coaching staff is thrilled about, Jay, through the first 14 practices of spring ball.
And that was the big bugaboo last year, right? The offensive line, and Brett admitted it, they didn't have enough depth at the offensive line. Zy Crystal, they tried to try him out there at the offensive tackle position. We take a look at it. Just look at the push. You want to see that drive, that wedge blocking up front. McCray's not really even touched in here until he hits the goal line, but The key, though, last year was they had injuries, they didn't have enough depth, and they couldn't protect Altmaier, and they couldn't run the ball when they wanted to run the ball. And Barry Lunny talked about it. You can't run the ball when everyone knows you're going to run it. You can't run the football. They got to be better at the point of attack. You can see up front there, Zy Chrysler, much better guard, just getting lower. The leverage. You can see Josh Kreutz, guy they're high on, Josh Geske as well with the push. And J.C. Davis, 74. We'll talk more about him. Very high on the New Mexico transfer. Rated the highest rated tackle in the group of 5. And so he's a great pickup in the portal.
Well, you referenced pickups in the portal. Here is your list of incoming FBS and FCS transfers. Of course, on the defensive side, we haven't even talked about the D-line yet, but Dennis Briggs, Anichi Sledge, both from Power 5 programs, huge additions for a group that loses Keith Randolph, Johnny Newton, and Denzel Daxton.
Yeah, Denzel, he was a guy that played really well at nose. Pretty much the guy nobody talked about was him, but Randolph and Newton, Johnny Newton, probably the best defensive lineman Illinois had in 20, 25 years here. A dynamic football player in the interior, and you just don't replace guys like that. But they've got a couple bodies that hopefully can bridge the gap.
Meanwhile, David Alano has put 2 out of the back of the end zone. Granted, he does have the wind behind him.
He has the wind.
And he drilled the point after. And again, if you're just joining us, there will not be any official scoring today, but we're seeing a combination of 1s and 2s on both sides of the football through the first half.
We need to keep reminding people that, because they're going to turn on the second quarter, look 0-0. Man, this offense is struggling, right? So no score being kept.
We have seen 1 touchdown, though.
We have seen 1 touchdown.
If you are just joining us. Josh McCray. Here's a pass out to Alexander Katka-Jones, the second-year JUCO transfer. Thrown by Donovan Leary, who is trotting out for his second series on offense. One of the rooms, positional groups, that every coach has talked about, especially offensively, Jay, is the wide receiver room. With all that they lose, who will emerge? And they love the depth of that room as well, as Aiden Lawfrey is wrapped up.
So you can see Isaiah Williams and Casey Washington taking off. Pat Bryant, always a go-to. The battle really is in the slot between Hank Beatty, Kanari Wilcher, Mario Sanders, a Iowa Community College JUCO guy. And of course, some freshmen in Tyshawn Griffin and Carlos Orr. There's lots of depth, but who's going to be that go-to guy? We think Pat Bryant's going to be the known commodity according to Barry Lunny, but who's going to be the guy that can go to on third down, the possession receiver out of the slot? That's still a battle. Wilcher and Beatty are battling out.
Underneath and off the hands of Colin Dixon, a redshirt freshman who had originally committed to Wisconsin before coming over to Illinois last season.
Yeah, they're going to get an offensive pick right here. This is a pick play, right? Watch Mario Sanders pick off Colin Dixon's. See right here, watch right here, Mario Sanders. He's going to pick off the defensive back that's guarding Dixon right here. You see that? If he didn't get his hands up like that, it would have been fine. If he just ran the route, run into him with the shoulder, but he got his hands up, that's offensive pass interference.
By the way, if you were curious, Brett Bielema just declined the penalty. He's coaching for both sides here.
Coaching for both sides, all right?
But we have seen Donovan Leary make some good throws.
Sure.
The timing, of course, was off on that one after the pick play.
The arm strength isn't an issue. We've seen him throw the ball all over the field. Almost has a little bit more zip than Luke Altmaier. I think Luke Altmaier seems to throw a more catchable football, which is an underrated aspect of a quarterback's ball.
Fabrizio Pinton, a pretty ball hanging high in the air, is caught at the 30-yard line. And again, if you're just joining us, no live kick return or punt returns today. Big Ten Plus delivers thousands of non-televised live events, next day on-demand replays. Watch up to 4 games at once. And a 24/7 Illinois channel. There's no plus like home. Stream for as low as $9.95 a month today. So we'll see Luke Altmaier again, who led a touchdown on his first drive. And as you heard Brooke Fletcher tell us from the sideline a moment ago, coaching staff has really been impressed by his urgency and decisiveness through the first 14 practices of spring.
I mean, you got to have your guy at the quarterback position be on point. If he's not on point, you're going to struggle in college football. And this is what I like right here. So a couple times they've gotten Luke Altmaier out of the pocket. They found Tanner Arkin there on a little bit of a flat route. But when you have a young offensive line and you have legs like Altmaier, you can get him out of the pocket. So they're going to fake the zone, and then it's a 1 or 2 man route, right? You get right there, you can dump it to Arkin, and now you're at 2nd and 2. That's the kind of plays that Lunny wants to draw up.
And as we talked about last series with Altmaier, Barry Lunny saying he feels like Altmaier's much more comfortable. The playbook's opening up for him more here in year 2. Play action, and it's a busted play, and Altmaier will scramble out of trouble, and it's blown dead, bringing up 3rd down.
It looked to me like Altmaier just turned the wrong way here because they had 2 pullers on a counter play for Aiden Lawfrey, and that's what happens. There's a miscommunication on what happened there.
Speaking of young men that they're thrilled about, as far as progress this spring, Aiden Lawfrey fits that category. Of course, the sophomore processing the game at a higher level, not only according to him, which is one thing, but his coaches.
The fiber optics, right? We've been talking about that. We keep on going about the process, and it's going fast. It's going faster for him. I mean, slowing down for him. As the game slows down, you're better. Aiden Lawfrey's a fast guy, pride of Gibson City High School. The Falcons, right? We talked about him earlier. He ran a 10.5 in high school. That's moving.
That's flying.
That's moving. A 10.5 in high school, about 40 minutes down the road here from Champaign. Aiden Lawfrey. Really a different build than the other backs. You know, you've got Jordan Anderson. He's been banged up. A JCA guy, Joliet Catholic Academy, 240. Caden Fagan, 245. Josh McCray, 245. You just think that maybe Brett Bielema likes big backs? I would say so, right? He wants to be physical at the point of attack.
Here is Declan Dooley, number 2 punter in the class of 2023, in a tight spiral inside the 15-yard line. Well, in 2024 in the fall, this is how the Illinois schedule will stack up. A rematch with Kansas. A lot of Illini fans are excited about that. Try to get some revenge against the Jayhawks. They will take on Oregon on October the 26th. It'll be Illinois' first look at the new look Big Ten.
Well, I think the Kansas game, they had 19 plays of 20 yards or more, the Jayhawks did against Illinois last season. I mean, they really tore them up. So that's a big test for this defense early. What's shocking to me is to see a schedule with no Iowa, no Wisconsin.
No traditional Big Ten West.
On an Illinois schedule, right? Those are long-term rivals. So it's going to take some getting used to, but cool to see the Ducks playing the Illini as well.
Donovan Leary on the keeper is tagged. Just some one-hand touch, not even two-hand touch.
It's brutal.
It's
brutal as a defender, right? Not being able to hit the quarterback, but it's so important because it's such a unique position in all of sports. They're the guy that can make or break a season.
How do you feel? You know, last year Illinois went 5-7.
Yeah.
4 of their losses were by 4 points or less.
Right.
How do you feel about their schedule in 2024?
Well, I think the majority of people would say that people that were in the Big Ten West were like, it's probably easier to keep the West and not open it up. Because I think you open up to more stronger competition.
Leary opens it up and hits Hank Beatty for a first down. The first big play reception of the spring game.
And he's lucky Dylan Rosiak is a linebacker, not a tight end. He would have caught that ball. Watch Dylan Rosiak right here. In his drop, this is called a hook curl drop. Now watch him read the eyes of the QB, come right down between the numbers and the hash. He's right where he needs to be. He just got to finish and make the pick. You know, I had a coach one time and said, Jay, get to the monument. I said, what's the monument? He said, you could put a monument between the numbers and the hash, and that monument alone would knock down 10 balls a game, right? Well, not just knock down, he could have had a pick.
Leary going deep for Hollins and deflected in coverage by Jaheim Clark. According to Aaron Henry, the fastest corner in that position group.
Well, he had some closing speed there. Beat off the jump by Hollins' route, and wasn't a bad ball, but able to make up ground. I'd love to see Hollins come back to the football a little bit more and high point it with his height. That's what he'll learn as he moves on. Hollins, the guy they said has improved. He got rolled up 2 or 3 weeks ago in a spring game scrimmage, but he's back playing today. Looks healthy.
2nd and 10 for Donovan Leary, running the #2 offense against what we believe to be the #1 defense, as Jacob Huber will run it forward for a gain of about 5. And what a story he's been. Was
the pride of Spring Grove.
Manager a couple of seasons ago, walked on as a quarterback, switched to running back this year because of the injuries to Anderson and, of course, Caden Fagan.
You know, you're a manager, then you're a quarterback, and then they're banged up at tailback. Say, hey, son, would you like to play tailback a little bit? And so he said, yeah, I'll do whatever it is, man. I'll do whatever it takes to help the team. And shout out to him, man. That takes a lot for a kid to come up the ranks like that.
Won a 4A state title at Richmond Burton High School here in the state of Illinois. Leary again, a deep throw, and in coverage. The play is made by T. Strain, they call him. Tyler Strain in coverage.
Well, that's a name that we've heard come out of the coach's mouth saying he's playing at a very high level. Watch him blanket. Watch him stay in phase with Kapka Jones here. He's handsy off the ball. Now watch him undercut that out route, that deep out, and stays in phase, turns his head around. He's the guy that got reps in that 2022 season with a lot of the great defensive backs. That had Sidney Brown, Quan Martin, Devin Witherspoon. He got time. They felt like he didn't play at times as consistently as they needed him to play last year, but they think he's ready for a breakout season, especially with Matthew Bailey and Xavier Scott not being healthy in the defensive backfield this spring. He's got a huge opportunity.
Hey, July 13th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago for the fantastic 10K and 5K races, plus the tailgate party. Scan the QR code to register right now at btnbig10k.com. You look like a guy I should take in the 10K race.
Oh, man, no. I did run a 5K one time. There was a period of my life for 15 years I ran no more than 100 yards. Why? You're a football player, right? You run it in small little areas here.
Well, we told you about all the new additions on the field, but we've also seen new additions at the position coach situation. Both linebacker coaches brand new, and then Justin Stepp, the brand new wide receiver coach.
And I'm excited about Archie McDaniel at the inside linebacker position, as you know, Altmaier one-hops that to Pat Bryant on the slant route. I'm excited about Clint Sinham. The outside linebacker position is so critical, but Justin Stepp is a guy I think who they got out of South Carolina to coach the receivers. He had coached with Barry Lunny at Arkansas. He's a guy I believe that will take this receiver group to another level. Brett Bielema kind of raved about it and said, when I go to get an assistant coach and replace an assistant coach, sometimes I'll get kind of the opposite feel, opposite personality of the coach that was here. He did that a little bit with Justin Stepp, and it's paid off for him in the spring.
And off to Aiden Lawfrey, skips ahead. Lawfrey across the 50, spins out of trouble, and Lawfrey still on his feet inside the 35. What a run by the sophomore, Aiden Lawfrey. A little lightning to the Thunderbacks you were talking about a moment ago.
And here's the deal, Stronger, this is just a little trap play right up the middle, and he's able to hit the hole fast, but look at the power to break tackles here, running right behind the pole right there. J.C. Davis with a huge pancake. J.C. Davis and Guest get pulled around on the counter play, I should say, and Davis just put the defender on his back.
Springs him for 25 yards on the ground, the biggest run of the spring game so far. Fake it to Lawfrey. Deep shot, and it is broken up, intended for Pat Bryant, who is yet to make a catch this afternoon.
So Aiden Lawfrey, by far the smallest of what we think will be the top four backs, by about 35 pounds. Josh McCray, who's big. Caden Fagan, very big. But Jordan Anderson's also 6'4", 245. A lot of fans have yet to really see him play. Lawfrey's certainly the change of pace back. They've had some good running backs here. Reggie Love, obviously Chase Brown set records for the Illini 2 years ago.
Lawfrey gets the carry again, this time a toss, stretching it out inside the 25. And Lawfrey and McCray have been cycling with the ones, with Caden Fagan out, still nursing that shoulder. Expect him to be fully healthy in the fall.
And what's interesting about Fagan is his ability with his body not only to be a big back, but he's so versatile. He catches the ball out of the backfield. He's able to run away from linebackers, maybe not defensive backs, but he's so strong at the point of attack. I think Fagan's going to be the guy. He's a guy out of Atwood Hammond High School here that was a phenomenal high school football player locally.
Lawfrey will barrel ahead to move the sticks. Fagan, of course, last year, second leading rusher behind Reggie Love, who moved on to Purdue. We're starting to see that more. Back in your era, nobody transferred within the conference. Now that happens seemingly every spring.
Well, there was a time if you transferred within the conference, within the Big Ten, you could not be on scholarship. So that prevented almost everyone from transferring within the conference. Now, the portal has opened it wide open.
We've seen players transfer in and out the week of the spring game for multiple Big Ten teams. Altmaier looking for Malik Elzy. Deep shot to the end zone. Elzy comes back and makes the grab for a touchdown.
Now that's maturity. First of all, great ball there by Luke Altmaier. A little bit underthrown, and Elzy's able to come back to it. The old wheel route, right? So he runs the wheel route. It's the out and up, and Elzy been impressive thus far in the first quarter.
23-yard touchdown reception for the sophomore.
Watch the wheel route here. So he's going to, on the wheel route, you fake the out route here, drives vertical, gives a little bit of a head nod, and able to go up and get the football. High points it.
Just sort of olaying C.J. Buffkin in the end zone there to come back and get the ball. And that is 2 touchdown drives led by Luke Altmaier, punctuated by passing touchdowns.
We're keeping score in our heads. So,
we are.
So it's 14.
Until they keep scoring more, then I'm going to have issues.
They were going to have issues here, right? Good protection. You see J.C. Davis with great protection there, the left tackle, and good ball right there. J.C. Davis, Geske work on the side, Kreutz one-on-one on the nose, has all kinds of time.
Well, Jay, I'm glad you keep bringing up the offensive linemen, because the coaching staff really does feel like they could go 11 or 12 deep come Big Ten play in the fall. And if you look at what we anticipate being the ones for the starting offensive line, all 5 of them have starting experience at the collegiate level.
I think that's the key. I think they really struggle. It doesn't matter what the play call is. If you can't block anybody, you're not going to be successful, right? Whether it's running the football, whether it's throwing the football, and that's really where they struggled the first 5-6 games of the season and started really, really slow and kept them out of the postseason last year.
David Olano getting coached up, doing kickoffs with nobody on the field. And with more on J.C. Davis, here is Brooke Fletcher.
Yeah, guys, you were talking about the strides that this offensive line has made this spring, and that is because of J.C. Davis and Coach Barry Lunny and his staff. I mean, they just say he has just exceeded expectations. He offers stability at one of the most important positions on the team. But now playing at this level in the Big Ten, there's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a big jump for him, but they're just very pleased with what they've seen so far. J.C. said that a big adjustment for him is especially the weather. He's from Oakland, California, New Mexico State. He's not used to playing in this cold weather. He said the ice and the snow has gotten the best of him a few times there, but I would say this is pretty good weather for him to play in here today, guys.
Hey, Brooke, I'm from the Midwest. 55 on April 20th is too cold for me.
I was going to say, I've played in some spring games, though, that have been like 35 and freezing rain. I've also played in some spring games that have been like 80. So you never know what you're going to get, right? Champaign, Illinois. Talk about, Brooke mentioned one of the most important positions is the left tackle. And I think that happened, 40 years ago when Lawrence Taylor broke Joe Theismann's leg. They said, well, we better protect these guys, right? Because this is the most important position on a football field. And they did not have a solid guy at left tackle. Isaiah Adams had to move over to right tackle. Zy Crystal was at the right guard. To have that left tackle position, they did have Julian Pearl, who was solid and will be an NFL draft pick, but they did not, going into the season, they needed to get that left tackle taken care of.
So what we're going to have here at the end of the first quarter is a field goal shootout between David Olano and Fabrizio Pinton. And when we asked Brett Bielema the other day on the phone call with him leading into this game, What's the one position group you're most excited to see in the spring game play out? And he said, by far and away, punters and kickers. Not the answer you thought we were going to get.
We asked that question to a lot of coaches, and I don't think I've ever remembered the punters and kickers.
No.
But he knocked it out. He said, yeah, well, we got to see what these guys can do in pressure situations with a crowd.
So this is David Olano, who was the #3 kicker in the nation in the class of 2023. Splits the uprights. And now his counterpart, Fabrizio Pinton, will line it up from the same spot.
Fabrizio Pinton as well knocks it in. The shootout. This doesn't even count for scoring either, though. So it's just the pressure of the crowd.
It almost feels like horse for kickers. Hey, I make it here. Now you have to make it here.
Horse. That's good.
Did you ever try trotting out there and kicking a field goal in your days in Illinois?
I have tried to kick a field goal. My max is like a 16-yarder, which is almost impossible to kick, because if you kick from like the 2-yard line, that's a 12-yard line, right? I mean, with like a snap, it's like impossible to do a 16-yarder, because like you have to snap it 7 yards back. You'd have to be like inside the end zone. Anyway, I'm getting all into it. I'm horrible with any kind of leg competition, punt or kick, brutal.
David Olano hit a 50-yarder in the All-American game in high school a couple of seasons ago. Here he is from the left hash and buries it. Again, a stiff win. Well, you know, from their backs right now.
Olano was a guy that they used a scholarship to go get. Sometimes you just make kickers walk on. They said, well, this guy's good enough. We want to give him a full ride.
Pinton will try to do it, and he does. We will step aside for a moment as the kicker shootout continues. And we've seen a couple of touchdowns. Josh McCray and 2 in the air from Luke Altmaier in the first quarter of the 2024 Illini spring football game. Well, during the last time out, Miles Scott was honored with the Tim McCarthy Scholarship. And what a story Miles Scott was. A walk-on wide receiver just a couple of seasons ago. Switched to defensive back last year and was second on the team in tackles, making 12 starts at the safety position.
Smart football player. I had a huge pick against Toledo in week 1 that turned that game. They were in danger of losing Toledo in week 1 at home. Miles Scott had a pick 6 that just totally flipped the ball game.
Here is Corey Rashad on the ground on first down, and our first look at Kirkland Michal running the offense at the quarterback position, coming over from Blinn Junior College a few seasons ago, and like Donovan Leary, has not taken a snap in live action, but they've been impressed by his growth here in spring practice.
He's got a big arm, big body, not as mobile as a Luke Altmaier, but again, you've got to be deeper than you think at the quarterback position. You think your guys are going to make it the whole year. Guys get banged up and nicked up.
Michal going through his progressions, and now we'll throw it out of play.
Good protection. Not a lot of pass rush from his first team defense right there. They drop Seth Coleman into coverage number 9, and good coverage as they looked like only rushed 3.
Well, that's one of the big storylines to watch, not just in this game, but of course in the fall. Sure. With this Illini team losing their 3 starters across the front, Denzel Daxon, Keith Randolph, and of course Johnny Newton, who will be a first-round draft pick in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge gap. You just don't replace those guys right off the bat. Now, their outside linebackers, Seth Coleman, Gabe Akis, Al Bryant, Daniel Brown, the JUCO transfer, they believe those guys are going to be special on the outside. But, man, it's going to be tough in the interior, especially when we get into the meat of that Big Ten schedule.
You asked Aaron Henry, though, the most improved position group on defense, and he said interior defensive line, which is encouraging.
Yeah, man, brought in Dennis Briggs from Florida State to improve it. They like what Alex Bray has done as well as a young up-and-coming underclassman. They've got to find a way to keep guys off of those linebackers. and whatnot.
Well, this is something new this year. Players coming off the field and being able to watch video from the last series on the sideline with the tablets. And for more, here's Brooke Fletcher.
Yeah, guys, for the 2024 season, the NCAA has given the green light to use some optional tech rules. You mentioned some of those right there, that they're able to use these tablets. You see the guys working on them. And over to the right, they have the helmet comms. These are two things that Coach Bielema is very passionate about. To give you some more details at what to expect here, coaches, they can communicate directly with one player using a special helmet system marked by a green dot here. Now, the communication cuts off with 15 seconds left on the play clock and when the ball snaps. So the tablets, though, you can have 18 on the sideline. They have 10 here today, a few up in the booth. They're even going to use them at halftime here. But Coach Bielema, they've been using these all spring long just to get acclimated and get ready for the upcoming season. So you got Donovan Leary, Dylan Rosiak, and Luke Altmaier. They are wearing them here today. So we asked Coach Lenny, we said, how are they adjusting? He mentioned there's a bit of a learning curve, especially just keeping the game time instruction short and sweet in that 15-second window. But overall, he likes the change, even though he admits he sometimes gets the hint from players to kind of keep it short. Coach, they go, all right, coach, we got it, which pretty much means, okay, just stop talking. Let us go out there and play ball.
Coaches don't know when to stop, Brooke. I mean, they just want to keep coaching and coaching. I think if they let them have the option, it would keep the mic on the whole time and tell them, hey, hit this, hit Ashton Hollins. Of course, they can't do that.
Leary back to pass, zips it over the middle and stripped out of the hands of Malik Elzy by Grayson Griffin, who has had an excellent start to the spring game.
That was Donovan Leary's chance to play with the ones here, so good protection as well. And again, there's that deep dig route. We saw Hollins drop this pass on this route, and it's twice in a row that Leary's throwing that ball almost perfectly. And you'd like to see Elzy on a contested catch be able to come down with that football.
Back to Brooks' point, though, about the comms. I mean, having the option to review video from the series before, that is game-changing.
And it's shocking that it's taken until 2024. For college football to allow. I've been to high school games where a team will come off of the field and they will sit underneath the tent and watch a big screen TV of the former of the previous series. And that we're not doing it in the Big Ten Conference, and we're not doing it in college football.
Well, it's been in the NFL
for years,
a long time. Speaking
Tablets.
of your NFL draft prospects, of course, we mentioned Tip Ryman, lead tight end from a season ago. Isaiah Williams was one of the best wide receivers in the country, second in the Big Ten only to Maserati Marv. And then on the line, Isaiah Adams at right tackle, Johnny Newton, of course, a first-round pick. We are certain at this point on the defensive line.
Yeah, Johnny Newton was a superstar. Isaiah Adams is a big offensive lineman. I would even though Julian Pearl, who played left tackle at a high level last year as well. And that's why the win got J.C. Davis, because Julian Pearl was gone, right? He's leaving. So they needed somebody at Julian Pearl's level or better to take that spot. Isaiah Williams was dynamic as a receiver. You know, he had offers at receiver from everybody in the country, Nick Saban in Alabama. They said, hey, come play quarterback in Illinois. Of course, he ends up at a receiver at the end of the day.
Good push from the defensive line there, stopping the run. Weston Adams unable to shake loose. Kirkland Michau has gotten the bulk of the reps on the back end of the 2 offense, and then, of course, most of the reps with the 3s. We do expect to see the true freshman Trey Petty, who, as Barry Lunny told us, has gotten almost all of the quote-unquote developmental reps. They are really excited about his future at Illinois.
He's built a little bit different than all of them as Michau takes off here. He's got more of a mobile threat, even more than Altmaier. Out of the same high school in Starkville, Mississippi, that Luke Altmaier is out of. There's something in the water down there where they're creating quarterbacks for the Illini. And Trey Petty's a guy that's got a very, very high ceiling. Don't know if you'll see a guy like Trey this season with all the talent ahead of him and Luke Altmaier kind of being the guy and Leary being the clear number 2, it seems like. But he's definitely a guy you got to keep an eye on.
And Kirkland Michau, while he hasn't thrown a pass yet at Illinois, now in his 3rd season after transferring over from junior college, he was a very adequate junior college quarterback, had a great high school career in Westlake, Texas. He's an option if it gets to that point, as he zips it on an out route, and the catch is made at the sticks by Hank Beatty.
Yeah, Hank Beatty, former Gatorade Player of the Year out of Rochester High School. You see Trey Petty here, the Mississippi Offensive Player of the Year. I know Barry Lenny went down to see him and really liked what he saw. The offensive coordinator.
Class 7 Player of the Year after he led his high school to the 6A state championship the year before.
So they bumped up. Starkville was growing.
They bumped up, and he still balled out.
Can't stop him, man. Can't stop talent. Cream rises to the top, even in Starkville.
Nothing doing on 4th and short. So that pass to Beatty was just short of the sticks. And the #1 defense, they think, has come up with a stop, and in fact, they have.
You know, the spring football season is a grind for these guys, right? I mean, you're going against each other. There's no payoff of a game. This is a game. You're still you're in school, right? Finals are coming up. There's not much better feeling than getting spring football done as a football player. When you're done with this game, you get like 2 weeks of just like lifting weights and being a college kid. And that's really rare for kids, right? Because there's so much they have to do during the season, during spring football. Summer. This is one of the more exciting times where they can be, when there's actually people on campus, be a student for the last 2-3 weeks of school. Not that they're not students other times, but actually just be a regular student without all the activities.
Nowadays, it's a full-time job being a Division I student athlete, but particularly football at the Power 5 level with all the commitments off the field.
Well, and with NIL, some of them get paid like it's a full-time job,
sure.
Right?
Luke Altmaier back out there leading the #1 offense. And Aiden Lawfrey has looked really good in this game.
Looks sharp here. Good vision here. I like the vision. You see, he doesn't just run it up the gut. He looks to his left a little bit and finds a crease. And he's a guy that doesn't need a huge crease. Find the crease, one cut, get upfield.
Brett Bielma told us he's quick as a hiccup, which I've never heard before, but I absolutely love that saying by Brett Bielma.
Quick as a hiccup. Man, sometimes I can't get hiccups to go away. What's the trick to get hiccups to go away? Like drinking water through a paper towel or
drinking
peanut
water
butter
upside down.
There's lots of old wives' tales about.
Altmaier floats it out to Rusk, who makes the catch but out of bounds. Rusk, somebody they're really excited about. But Hayden Lawfrey has ripped off some huge runs.
Yeah, we saw this one, the first one, where he was able to get the first down out of the old student body left, student body right with the pitch and up the middle. And this is the biggest one, was a 25-yard scamper where he broke a few tackles, showing his strength and his low center of gravity to finish runs.
Hurdle, spin, stiff arm for a guy who's 5'11", 200 pounds.
Think about the Xbox controller. He's got the triangle, the square, the circle, all of that in his repertoire. It's like in his mind, he's just hitting him. Here he goes again.
Faked it to him, then zipped it to him, and he picks up a first down. Has really taken advantage of Caden Fagan being out this spring and the extra reps that he's gotten with the first team offense.
And you have to, right? Because you don't know how many live reps you can get as a running back where you have people actually trying to tackle you. You get those in spring football, and he has taken full advantage. He's going to be an intricate part, not only as a running back, but possibly as a receiver out of the backfield.
Back to Lawfrey. Shifts back left, carrying the pile with him and dragged down. Well, you talked about it earlier. There is a difference with some of the bodies in the running back room. And Aiden Lawfrey offers something just a little bit different that Barry Lunny told us he feels like makes their offense even more dynamic.
Yeah, you could hit McCray, you could hit Fagan for the first 2 or 3 series, and then you come in and there's a whole different call sheet for a guy like Aiden Lawfrey. We're probably not going to run a toss to Caden Fagan or McCray. You might, but probably not a toss to the field because you have the speed of a guy like Lawfrey that can get to the edge.
Fake it to Lawfrey. All day for Altmaier. Back to his running back, who again scampers ahead for a first down. Brooke Fletcher is with Dana Howard.
Yeah, guys, I'm with quite the celebrity here in Champaign. Dana Howard joins me now. How's it feel to be back here at Memorial Stadium?
Feels real good. I mean, it's always home. I did a lot of work here, so on this field, so I enjoy being here.
It's been a busy week for you. You had the opportunity to hang out with some alum. How was it just being able to be back with those guys?
It's always good hanging out with the fellas. Those are my guys, you know. So we just hang out, enjoy each other, tell all old war stories, and just have a good time.
Yeah, reminisce on some memories there. What's your favorite memory from playing here at Illinois?
Well, obviously beating Ohio State, 4 years in a row, beating Michigan at Michigan, and just winning and going to bowl games. You know, we weren't the prototypical Illinois what you've seen as of late, so we were pretty good.
All right, well, now you're not the only Howard star here at Illinois. Your daughter, she plays softball here, Zoe. What's that been like being able to watch her succeed in that game?
It's cool watching your kids enjoy themselves, compete, and enjoy. I mean, she has a ball here. She's on the softball team. She's in the sorority. She's an AKA, so she's enjoying life. So we're going to school back.
He's keeping an eye out for me, guys, on the sideline. He told me he was going to give me a heads up so I don't get hit down here. Well, Dana, we appreciate you taking the time. Great to see you.
Yeah, same here. I appreciate it. Go ILL.
So Dana was my Fighting Illini hero growing up. 595 tackles in his career. That's a boatload, almost 150 a year. A Butkus Award-winning linebacker, okay? And he called his shot against Ohio State. He said, we're going to go beat Ohio State at Ohio State. Still famous for that. He obviously beat Ohio State 4 times. He's had some success against them. He's a character as well, could you tell?
That beating Ohio State 4 times, even years after his playing days, I just love that brings him so much joy.
So much joy, right? So much joy. They fight for the Illinois. It's one of the lesser-known trophy games, but I tell you, Illinois had some success in the 80s and early 90s, and in 2007 against the Buckeyes. They've had that's one program that's not maybe seen as in the top tier, Illinois, that's battled with Ohio State historically.
Certainly Luke Altmaier in this newer look offense want to help Illinois get back to a top 25 ranking like they were back in 2022. Made the ReliaQuest Bowl, ultimately lost in that game, had an 8-win season. And it seemed at that point that there was some real momentum around this program as Altmaier takes a shot over to the middle and hits Malik Elzy, who has been a big part of the offensive success of Team 1 here in the spring game.
That 15-yard dig is a staple of Barry Lunney's offense. And what I love about Barry Lunney is a lot of times after a big play, at least in a game, maybe not in a scrimmage, he'll take another shot to try to get to the end zone. And what I like about what Luke Altmaier does is he takes his time, he's got protection, and it takes a long time for it to develop. He goes through his progression. Elzy's not the first guy he's looking for here, but he can see Elzy right here, just sits right there on the hash. Good ball, good execution.
Lawfrey in the backfield to the left. They will fake the pitch. Altmaier on the run, makes the throw, and it's just out of the reach of Colin Dixon.
Yeah, he wants that one back, right? Because that was a good dial-up by Barry Lunney. Kind of lined up fast, faked the pitch to Lawfrey here, and then uses his rollout ability right here, and he just doesn't put it on the money.
We have seen Barry Lunney call a lot of different actions for Luke Altmaier. A couple of run-pass options, a couple of rollouts, some bootlegs, showing that they feel he can be a dual threat in 2024.
When they get the defense running horizontal, then they get the defense running vertical with a deep shot, then they say, let's run the football right at you, then they move the quarterback out of the pocket. And this is a staple run play as well, where they do a double pull either on a zone play or a counter play. He loves to use the pullers. That's why you got to be athletic if you play the offensive line here. So watch the right side of the offensive line here as they're going to pull around Priestley at tackle and Chrysler at guard. And you can see right there, Lawfrey tucks right in between there to get a positive gain of 6 or 7 yards.
That is just great telestration by our production guru, Glenn, back in Chicago, doing a fantastic job. Here's 3rd and 4. And Altmaier floats it out to Lawfrey with nobody around him. It's a touchdown for the sophomore.
You know, that reminds me of a funny line that a defensive line coach once told me. He said, that was an MA, a mental error. And I kind of looked at the coach. I said, isn't that a mental error? Nobody guards it, right? An MA, a mental error. He would say, I said, no, that's a missed assignment, coach. But it's a joke that the MA was a mental error itself, right? But when I say mental errors right here, you'll see nobody picks them up, right, at all. Now, you see the safety get picked off. Number 21 here gets picked off. But no one's out in the flat. Easy pitch and catch.
18-yard touchdown reception for Lawfrey, who's already busted a 25-yard rush in this game, flashing the skills that Barry Lunny told us we could expect to see from Aiden this year.
So Aiden Lawfrey, we've seen Malik Elzy make some plays.
No official scoring in this game, but we are keeping track at home in case you're interested. A Josh McCray 1-yard touchdown, then Luke Altmaier hitting Malik Elzy, and then his second touchdown pass to Aiden Lawfrey and getting some love from his teammates on the sideline.
Looks like Johnny Newton over there on the sideline right there in the black hoodie. He's getting ready for his big week coming up here.
You know, it's interesting. Year 2 for Luke Altmaier, obviously more comfortable in the system, but Barry Lunny said he just feels more comfortable around the guys, more relational,
sure,
and has built a better rapport going into his second season.
I think that's huge in the transfer portal era, right? You're coming from a totally new background, not with your typical recruiting class. He was with the Ole Miss recruiting class. He comes in, and then they come in, and you know, you kind of get used to it. He said Cole Rusk as well was kind of like that for Murray State, and then he broke the huddle down at the end of spring camp the other day and spring practice, and they said, okay, Cole Rusk is kind of getting comfortable with the guys. And so Luke Altmaier, I think, especially at quarterback, that's hard to do. Coming as a transfer, play right away. Now he is the leader. He's not just the guy taking snaps under center. He is the leader of this team.
It's an offense that replaces 7 starters, but they do return 6 with starting experience. And of course, that deeper offensive line, which we're getting to see here with the number 2 offense trotting out. And Donovan Leary, who is the presumed backup at this point to Luke Altmaier, but make no mistake, has battled Luke through 14 spring practices. Takes a deep shot. Leary down the left side, and a diving catch is made inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Kapka Jones, Alex Kapka Jones, a guy that has been battling, certainly not one of the guys that we said, okay, we think this guy will make a bunch of plays next year, but wow, look at the effort here. Look at the ball. Tremendous effort. Look how he gets up on the high shoulder and never gives up on the ball. Get his hands underneath the football and make the catch.
42 yards.
And Caleb Patterson, who's had a good spring, battling in that 50-50 ball. Kapka Jones comes up with it.
Redshirted last year, but has flashed this season, in the words of his head coach, Brett Bielema. They will go to the right side, and it's Colin Dixon into the end zone for a touchdown. Back-to-back deep shots to redshirt freshman. And Donovan Leary has his first touchdown of the afternoon.
And that was against what we think will be the first team defense right there. They really diced him up with 2 big pass plays. Colin Dixon, a guy they had to really win a recruiting battle for, and he knows where he's going from the start. But look at him step up and keep his eyes downfield. You see that? Able to step up. That's what Tom Brady's always been so good at, right? Tom Brady's not the most mobile guy. Watch him step up, get ahead of the pass rush. That's easier when you know you're not going to get hit. And then throws a bucket ball right there to Colin Dixon, lets him run underneath it.
So not only seeing the depth at quarterback, but also at wide receiver, which is a position group to keep an eye on into the fall with the departures of Isaiah Williams and Casey Washington. That was a pretty ball from Donovan Leary.
Donovan Leary's got a big-time arm, right? I mean, this is a guy that can really throw the rock all over the field. They said even going into week 8 or 9, he was battling John Paddock for the second team position. And then Paddock just had a little bit more game experience, so they put him in. And then obviously Paddock finished the year. But Donovan Leary's a guy that's more than serviceable at that second team. Now, he has no live game reps at the college level, but certainly impressive today.
Fabrizio Pinton now on for the ensuing kickoff. No live kicks or punt returns today, but you do see a couple of guys back. It's Kenari Wilcher, who may just be one of the kick returners this fall. Tonight, don't miss men's lacrosse. It's the regular season finale. Michigan and Ohio State. What better way to close out the Big Ten lacrosse season? Coverage begins 7 Eastern only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Now, if you zoom in right there in that girl's hat, if you could go back to that shot we just saw, she was actually in a line with me before the game. You can see my signature. She'll just turn her head to the right. No, the other way. Turn the other way. Right there's the J. Laban 47. Did you catch that? J. Laban 47. You can see that high-priced autograph, 49 cents on Amazon.
How does she know who you are? You're too old.
I don't know, but I was signing autographs, and I remember seeing her, and I asked her, do you want on the bottom of the brim or do you want on the side? Because I want my autograph to be seen, right? So I said, look at that. That's the girl I signed it for. And I mean, you can't make this stuff up. We had staging. A cameraman finds her. I said, that's my signature, the old J. Laban 47. We're here to help.
Famous last words. We didn't stage it. Uh-huh. That's the only J. Laban autograph you'll find in Champaign. No, I'm just kidding.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's talk about Josh McCray here on this play. We've seen a couple pictures of me on the walls. I would say around here, not too many.
Well, I've been told about a picture of J. Laban from his playing days with hair down to his shoulders. I've yet to see it, but if you can find me one, I'll take your autograph on that all day.
Take it all day, man. You know, you get domesticated as you grow older, right? Now we got the high fade, try to look pretty, try to look good for TV.
Look professional.
You know? Professional.
Clean cut.
Yep. But I'm glad my signature got on camera. I mean, that's waiting for that girl.
A lot of airtime, too.
A lot of airtime. Kind of thank our producer back. There we go. Talk about airtime.
Hair down to here. Now he keeps it tight, high and tight. Family man and a local real estate agent. If you need to buy a house, he's your guy.
I mean, free advertising. Love it.
Malik Elzy has been getting balls his way all first half. He's made 4 or 5 catches of long completions, Jay.
Well, he was a guy with a really high ceiling coming in, you know, an All-American in high school out of Chicago Simeon. Lots of different offers. They were able to win this battle. You know, played like he was thinking a little bit too much last year, and he's playing now like he's not thinking at all. He's just playing on instinct as Ashton Hollins gets a grab on the sideline.
That's a long throw from Leary, and Hollins continues to fight, still short of the sticks. So that brings up second and very, very short. But to your point on Malik Elzy, you know, we asked Barry Lunny, what's the biggest difference with him? He said he looks like a different dude in terms of his confidence. And that kind of speaks to what you were talking about, because he was a top 25 receiver in the 2023 class, had never not been the guy.
Right, you know, it's hard to tell the difference between a guy who's unconfident, who's scared, or just doesn't know what he's doing. Now call it the same, right? And I think he wasn't scared. He was ready to compete. He was ready to play, but just didn't have the confidence to really go and execute on game day. Has all the physical tools you want in a receiver. So I think he's a guy that's going to really push for playing time opposite of Pat Bryant on the outside receiver position.
Elzy, one of a handful of sophomores in this receiver room. You look at Mario Sanders, Ashton Hollins, Kenari Wilcher, Malik Elzy, Tyson Rooks, who we've not seen yet today, moving over from defensive back, all sophomores.
They've got some young talent here. Remember, you know, that's probably Brett's one of his first full recruiting classes here. He got on these guys as juniors and seniors in high school.
Quick handoff to McCray, and he bowls ahead for a first down. We've seen a lot of Aiden Lawfrey, now getting to see some more Josh McCray. A little bit slow to get up.
Now, the thing with Josh McCray is this. If you don't want to see him hobbling at all, right, after some of his injuries, the faster he can get downhill and get that huge body rolling, the more efficient he is. When he has to make a cut before the line of scrimmage, he's not nearly as effective.
Leary airs it out again, and broken up in coverage. Elijah McCantos was there, and a late flag comes in.
Yep.
Kenari Wilcher, the intended receiver.
Yeah. So we see here's the power play, the counter play they like to run, and he gets upfield and gets through the hole and kind of gets his legs chopped under him.
Previous spot Automatic, first down.
They come back with a deep ball.
The number 2 offense is moving the ball right now.
They scored a touchdown on the first team defense now. First team defense last drive. This looks to be like they have some of the backups and some of the twos, but still efficient though. You got to execute offensively. Offense is about execution. Defense is about effort and being physical.
Leary again, this time taking a shot to Hollins, and he got turned around incomplete.
So Hollins had the back shoulder fade there. He just, Leary just, that wasn't his best ball. He likes to go for it all. He's not on the check down Charlie route, right? This is Donovan deep ball right here, right? So Donovan has him open, but just way too wide on the back shoulder. Needs to be 3 or 4 yards in. Good route by Hollins.
Hollins, the second leading returning receiver from a season ago, behind only Pat Bryant.
It's just a fascinating story about Hollins' recruitment out of the state of Alabama. Both his parents are deaf. They had to hire someone to come in for the home visit that could help them sign language to his parents, right? Ashton Hollins could hear, but his parents could not. And so it's an interesting story. He's a really great individual. Came up big last year in some games with some key catches. They like what they've seen from Ashton Hollins. Battle with Malik Elzy actually for that other outside receiver spot.
And he too now knows sign language.
Yeah.
Becoming more fluent in sign language. 3 wide receivers set here. Hollins at the top, and now Wilcher in motion on 3rd and long. Leary through his progressions to Wilcher. Shakes one tackler, and then the gang comes to get him down inside the 20.
Yeah, you can keep juking all you want, but there's going to be 7 or 8 guys if you don't get upfield that are going to come hit you. So good left here. So progression. Finally down to the check zone. Oh, just a little bit of pad popping.
Little bit. It's a lot of plastic colliding there at the 20-yard line.
You know, back in the day, we just had helmets. Now they've got custom-made helmets for guys. Can you believe that? I mean, it's just all, it's amazing.
You guys played with helmets?
Yeah, I was leather, but we did. We did have it.
37-yard field goal attempt here for David Olano, and that is into the wind and no good. And it is a stiff wind, folks. We saw David Olano drilling some deep field goals at the end of the first quarter.
I think if you would survey the Big Ten coaches, now I haven't surveyed Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA, but their traditional Big Ten coaches, they would say this is a wind tunnel stadium. One of the windiest stadiums, especially in the fall, seems to rush through that north or south end zone where the stadium's not nearly as high with their stands.
I mean, that flag is whipping around. And you know, it's funny, Brett Bielema told us before the game when Brooke Fletcher interviewed him, we're going to give it a little bit easier for the kickers to start the game. Let them kick off with the wind behind their backs, and then they go into the wind to close the first half. We saw a couple of big touchdowns, a couple of big runs from Aiden Lawfrey, and now Brett Bielema is standing by with Brooke Fletcher.
Coach, I know we're not keeping score here, but your quarterbacks, they found the end zone a few times. What did you make of the decision-making here?
I do like it. We've handled the early down situations pretty good. Donovan's been doing what he's done all spring. He looked really good, efficient. I thought we ran the ball well. 3rd and 4th quarter, we'll see some new faces roll in and get the guys through. I like the way guys are up front covering people up.
All right, how about on the defensive side of the ball? What did you see from them?
You know, I think in the back end, especially some of the deep balls that we hit there, that got some young corners feeling their way through. We got to be able to play the ball a little better. Up front, it's a little realistic. We're not going live on the quarterback, so he's probably getting away with a little bit less pressure, but overall pretty good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Brooke. Great stuff on the sideline in the first half. We did see Luke Altmaier air it out, and a great touchdown catch by Malik Elzy. Aiden Lawfrey, a spin, a hurdle, a juke, and a touchdown for the sophomore. We will step aside. It's halftime of the spring game in Champaign. Coming up, catch more spring football excitement as the Spartans are on the field at Michigan State in East Lansing for their spring showcase next, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. As we welcome you back to Champaign for a beautiful spring football game. Brooke Fletcher is standing by with last year's sack leader, Johnny Newton.
Johnny, welcome back to Memorial Stadium here. I know you've been busy getting ready for the draft. We'll get to that in a minute, but how's it feel to be back?
Feel good. Kind of awkward that I'm not playing right now. Just watching the boys, mentoring them really, but it definitely feels good to be home.
Yeah, do you find yourself wanting to run back out there on the field?
Man, a couple of those plays, I was like, dang, I could have got a sack out there. But yeah, it feels good. Definitely watch my younger guys, watching them grow up. It's heartwarming.
Well, just talking to them, they speak nothing but great things about you. You were considered a leader on this team. What sort of advice have you given them as they prepare for this season?
Put in extra work. That's what I always did from my time here till I left and still now. Just putting the extra work, putting in work when nobody's seeing. Just stay in the lab, watch film all the time. I feel like that'll get you to get ahead of everybody else.
As you reflect back on your time here at Illinois, what was your favorite memory?
It's a lot of good moments, but geez, that's a hard one. I would say all my favorite moments just fellowship with my teammates in the locker room, having fun, dancing together, playing with each other. But I felt like that 2022 season was memorable for me.
All right, we got to ask you about the NFL draft here. Getting ready for that, how's training been going?
Training been good. Had a little hiccup, but full speed now, full go. I feel great and ready to get to it.
It's going to be here before you know it. What excites you about playing at the next level?
I've been playing football since I was 5 years old, so really going to be a dream come true when it actually happened. Every day we watch NFL games here, even if it's replays, just watching the game. So me actually being that player is going to be mind-blowing to me.
All right, Johnny, well, we appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck to you as you begin this next chapter in your career.
Thank you. ILL.
Thank you, Johnny. A projected first-round draft pick. And we are seeing a former roommate,
Kevin Mitchell, my roommate,
Mitchell.
lived with him for 3 years. He was a better safety than punter. Let me tell you that. Would you say so?
part of the alumni punt, pass, and kick competition.
That's Matt Sinclair, played with linebacker for him. We'll see. We come back with more punt, pass, and kick.
Coleman Hawkins, Illinois basketball player, getting involved in the punt, pass, and kick competition here. This from 30 yards out. We'll give him a B on the lineup, but an A+ on the make. Coleman Hawkins fading right. I think he lost his shoe there. And then a victory lap for Coleman Hawkins. That caps off the first half. Matt Schumacher, Jay Lehman with you. A lot of fun here for the Illinois spring football game. Lots to get to, Jay, but what stood out to me was the quarterback play. How about you?
Yeah, Donovan Leary has a big-time arm, right? We saw him throw the ball all over the yard, sideline to sideline, loves the deep ball. He's Donovan Deep Ball. We gave him a name, not check down Charlie. Luke Altmaier, steady as always, uses his legs to get out of the pocket and extend plays. And I just got to say one more time, Coleman Hawkins, I knew he was versatile in basketball court. Offense, defense, he was able to pass the ball, rebound, shoot. Great player for that Elite Eight Illini team, but he's a kicker. He can kick. He's 6'8" kicker, right?
Lost his shoe, hit a 30-yarder.
Lost his shoe. Lots of spring game shenanigans. That's what spring football is about, shenanigans.
Now, this Coleman Hawkins autograph, is it as valuable as a Jay Lehman autograph?
If it's on an orange cowboy hat, yes.
Great crowd this afternoon for the 2024 spring football game in Champaign here at Memorial Stadium. About 55 degrees, windy but sunny, and the fans are enjoying the t-shirt toss as well as occasional Jay Lehman autograph.
The t-shirt toss is always a fan favorite. I mean, my kids, at any game, they're standing up for the t-shirt. Just for a $2 t-shirt, it gets the crowd hyped.
Well, you know what has everybody else hyped? The 2024 schedule is out, as we talked about in the first half, a rematch with Kansas, something that everyone has circled. But beyond that, what jumps out to you on this schedule?
Well, I think you're going to find out a lot about Illinois in conference play when they play Nebraska and Penn State. I think Nebraska is going to be a lot better under Matt Rule. They've done great in the portal. They've recruited well. I think they're going to be solid. And, of course, Penn State's always solid. And then you get into middle of October with Michigan and Oregon. Those are going to be challenging football games. I think Oregon could be the best of the newcomers in the Big Ten. And, of course, Michigan, they're the big dog, right? I mean, they've won They've only lost one Big Ten game the last 3 years.
Even with all the changes, you still think they're the big dog.
Listen, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant at the defensive tackle position. You've got Donovan Edwards, and I love the hire of Wink Martindale as the new DC. Done some wonderful things on that Ravens D for years. I think they're going to, if they can figure out the quarterback position, J.J. McCarthy's a big loss. Blake Corum's a big loss. But if they can keep their offensive line play solid, they'll be good.
You're going to look at Luke Altmaier. He had 2 touchdowns in the first half. His counterpart, Donovan Leary, had 1. And I think we'll see more Trey Petty and Kirkland Michau, possibly some Kyle Swanson here in the second half.
I would agree with you. This is kind of when the threes get in and get an opportunity to show what they can do in some live action.
Brett Bielema decided to go easy on the kickers again here. After David Alano had to kick a 37-yarder into the wind, now the wind behind the back of Pinton. And this one is returnable, but no defense or return team, rather, out there ahead of Kenari Wilcher. No live punts or kickoff returns in the spring game. No tackling the quarterback either. Speaking of quarterbacks, Donovan Leary looked really good, 9 for 18 with a touchdown. Luke Altmaier, 2 touchdowns, 116 yards passing. And I know it's not completely live because they're not running for their lives out there, but what did you think of the first half from those 2?
Well, I love what Barry Lunny did with Luke Altmaier and get him out of the pocket, have some horizontal throws, have some downfield throws. I saw Luke actually get the ball out on time. I also saw him work through his progression. For Donovan, I think you saw a big-time arm. Might have a stronger arm than Luke, maybe not as maybe not have the touch or the catchability of the arm of Luke Altmaier, but certainly has a cannon.
Here's Leary on the move, swings it out to Kenari Wilcher, taken out right around the 50-yard line.
Wilcher's a guy out of Florida they really liked last year. They thought, hey, he's progressing. Barry Lunny said, hey, he's really progressed this year and has an opportunity right now in the thick of it for that slot receiver battle with Hank Beatty.
Isaiah Williams was a terrific wide receiver here. He is expected to go high in the upcoming draft, but they also lost Casey Washington at the receiver position,
who made some huge catches down the stretch. Huge catch against Toledo, huge catch against Minnesota. Without Casey Washington, you could make an argument they don't win 2 of their football games. So Casey Washington, a leader on this team, and hard to replace those guys that have that much experience.
The score is not actually 0-0, by the way, if you're just joining us and wondering. But there is no official score being kept. We have seen a handful of touchdowns scored today, 2 by Luke Altmaier and 1 by the quarterback in right now, Donovan Leary, who has made a couple of long throws look easy to start the second half.
Yeah, way out to the sideline there to Cole Rusk. This is the Murray State transfer. So Cole Rusk, look at the footwork here. And he's got a hose on him right there on the mark to Cole Rusk. Cole Rusk went to Eastern Michigan, then Murray State, out of Rock Island. The Rock Island Rocks. Was an Illini fan growing up, and even Brett Bielema said, you know, if I was here, he kind of came out the year I came. We were kind of late on him. He's probably a guy we would have recruited, but glad to have a second chance at him.
Leary on the run, got tagged, and they'll blow it dead. To your point on Cole Rusk, his dad, Steve, wrestled at the University of Illinois in the 90s, 2-time NCAA championship qualifier. And Cole grew up coming to football games. And on one particular Saturday, he remembered wearing a number 5 jersey. And after the game, got asked if he wanted to go into the locker room. Michael LaShore signed that jersey, and he wore it for weeks after the fact. Now getting to play in the blue and orange.
Well, that's a great story. Michael LaShore, one of the greats to play at tailback here, former first-round pick of the Detroit Lions, actually a Champaign Centennial High School
Ball
kid.
start. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Leary getting some reps with this first-team offensive line. You see Melvin Priestley there. He's an East St. Louis guy that went to Grambling State. They really like him at right tackle, battling for that position that Isaiah Adams had to move over to last year about midway through the season to help shore up that O-line.
Look at Offrey showing the speed. I know it didn't go for a big gain there, but got out of trouble in a hurry.
That's the difference between him and Fagan or McCray. Fagan, McCray, Jordan Anderson, they kind of plow forward. This is a dead play, right? Good defense, and he has the speed just to get on the edge and make it positive, you know? Make it a 2 or 3 yard gain rather than a 1 yard loss.
Excellent 100-meter runner in high school, 10.58. But as Brett Bielema said, it's not just that he's fast on the outside. He'll run through the tackles, as we've seen today. There's a pass that goes off the hands of Elzy, who has made some big catches, but that would have been 20-plus yards or more.
We've seen Elzy drop 2 digs. Ashton Hollins watch another. This is a bullet of a ball. Watch the velocity on this ball. Throws it on a rope, okay? And right through the hands. That's what I talk about. The catchability of Altmaier's ball is a little bit softer than Leary's ball. Now, he still needs to catch it. This is a good pass. You're a Big Ten receiver. Elzy needs to bring that down.
So that brings up 4th and 16. Punt unit is out there, but it will not be returned live. It's Declan Dooley, the redshirt freshman who expects to compete with Hugh Robertson, the junior coming back from Melbourne, Australia this year. And we should have a good battle, punters and kickers, going into fall camp, especially with Caleb Griffin moving on at the kicker position. And Brooke Fletcher is standing by with QB1, Luke Altmaier.
Luke, it's like you're picking up right where you left off here, really connecting with your pass catchers out there. What's it like being able to get those guys going?
It's a lot of fun. We have so many great guys. Guys are excited flying around out wide, tight ends, running backs, and really good. So it's been fun to be out here in the stadium with the fans, and a little chilly, a little windy, but having a lot of fun.
Well, we're adding a new element here, the helmet comms. You guys have been using those all spring, but this is the first time in game action. How's it been working for you?
We've used it through our 15 practices and have been super efficient with it. Coach Lenny, and I know the defensive guys are using it too, but it's almost like a cheat code, being able to have that direct communication with, kind of our leader and Coach Lenny. Being able to kind of tell me the play right away is, a huge help, and I'm looking forward to using it throughout the year.
You told us this week it's been hard to keep it concise, 15 seconds from your vantage point. How has that been as far as keeping it under 15?
Yeah, the talker. He likes to get every little detail in there, make sure he says the play a lot of times, but he's been great with it. I know it's a learning curve for him too, and all the coaches. So it's been a lot of fun and a lot of learning too.
Last year was your first year as a starter. What was the point of emphasis for you coming into this spring?
You learn so much as a first year as a starter, learn the speed of the game, learn how to take hits again, and there's so many areas of my game that I want to get better at, whether it's within the pocket, being a better leader intangibly. There's so many areas, but I'm so excited to, kind of springboard into this next year and win a lot of games for this team.
All right, thank you so much, Luke.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Luke, on a pass incomplete intended again for Malik Elzy.
Barry Lunny told us southern charm, doesn't he?
He does. And Barry Lunny told us he wishes that he could just have the comms with Luke Altmaier all the time. Luke, brush your teeth. Luke, make sure to take out the trash.
Those guys, again, college football coaches, I won't go as far as saying control freaks. They're a little bit quirky in that they want to make sure their guys, especially the quarterback, gets it. Now, Luke's, man, you kind of feel like when you're talking to him, you're on a porch in the South sipping on some lemonade and an Arnold Palmer. You're like, hey, Luke, he's just kind of got that good old boy kind of flair to him. And of course, mentions the weather a little bit, right? That's a little chilly.
Yeah, a little different than Starkville, Mississippi.
A little different.
Fair catch made by Hank Beatty.
Our experts discuss everything happening in the conference on Big Ten today. Weekdays, noon Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network. And again, we will see Donovan Leary come back out and run the offense. And working with the #1 offense around him, or presumably the #1 offense. And again, no depth charts have been released. They have not named a starting quarterback. Donovan Leary and Luke Altmaier have been taking the majority of the reps with the ones, as Aiden Lawfrey takes the handoff and barrels ahead for a pickup of 6.
You know, offensively, Brett Bielema has been a guy that wants to run the ball. They kind of changed the last 4 or 5 games of the season under John Paddock and a little bit under Altmaier before he got hurt, to throwing the football more. Now, Barry Lunny said that was, it's kind of what the defense gave us, but I think for Illinois to reach the goals that they have of postseason play and being highly competitive in the Big Ten, they've got to get up into that 30-point range. They've averaged in the mid-20s. You got to score 30 points in this day and age of college football to win at the level you want to win at, unless you have a very high-level defense like they had in 2022.
In 2022, they gave up less than 13 points per game. That was tops in FBS. Last year, of course, they went from the #3 overall defense to number 64.
Right.
And while they were 5th in the Big Ten in scoring, 24.5 points per game last year, to your point, defensively, they weren't keeping teams off the board. What a catch! Alexander Kepka-Jones for a touchdown and blows a kiss to the sky.
They told us that he flashed. He's flashed today a little bit, right? I mean, my gosh, that's 2 flashy catches for Kepka-Jones. You can see
40
here the play
yards.
action, 40-yard bomb here. This one from Leary. Really nice deep ball. Deep ball Donovan. He likes to go for it, right? In Jersey, they go for it.
T-shirts here in Champaign. Deep ball Donovan.
Deep ball
What
Donovan.
a throw.
On that high shoulder where only the offensive player can get it.
The kick is good.
Alexander Kepka-Jones has made 2 huge catches in this game. This one, 40 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, great concentration as well. Able to get his left hand on it and corral it with his right hand. He certainly flashed. Kepka-Jones out of Oak Park, California.
Redshirted last year after, as you mentioned, going to Moore Park College, a junior college out in California. And there's Leary on the tablet.
More
He's going to want to watch that throw a couple more times.
So let me go. Where's the deep ball cut-ups at? I'm going to look at the deep balls that I'm throwing. His brother Devin, obviously very successful at NC State, and then Kentucky transfer and whatnot. But Devin was a deep ball guy too, I think. So parents named him with D's to set him up for the deep ball.
And Devin declaring for the draft, went to the combine, so preparing for a big day in the Leary household potentially. Fabrizio Pinton expects to compete with David Olano, particularly for place kicker, because that is the biggest position that they've replaced on specials, with Caleb Griffin exhausting his eligibility. Of course, Olano last year was the kickoff specialist. As we send it down to Brooke Fletcher.
Players today are coming into this game wearing VDD decal on their helmets, guys, to honor the late Vontae Davis, who sadly passed away earlier this month. Now, Davis was an Illinois star defensive back that went on to have an incredible NFL career. And Coach Bielema, he didn't coach him, but he did compete against him as an assistant coach in the NFL. And he described him as a very loved player at Illinois and talked about his passion and intensity for the game. He said he checked all the boxes. So it's really great to see Illinois out here honoring a star.
That's great stuff, Brooke. A tragic loss. Vontae Davis, I remember watching him growing up as a kid, was a warrior on the field.
Yeah, Vontae had a chance to play 3 years with Vontae, and the moment, here's a funny story about Vontae Davis. We were playing a game at night, 2005, against Penn State, in which on national TV, we got beat 63-10. On that night, Vontae Davis and Juice Williams were visiting as recruits, and they committed that night.
Wow.
And said, well, I could play here. And Vontae, from the very first day he stepped on the field, extremely confident, was basically our shutdown corner in that 2007 season. He could lock up anybody, was all conference, ended up being a first-round draft pick, being an all-pro for the Indianapolis Colts, I believe in 2013 or 2014, finished his career with the Bills. But Vontae Davis, a special young man out of the DMV, Dunbar High School, and lots of members of Vontae, you will be missed.
Prayers with his family, as Trey Petty will now run the offense for Illinois. And excited to see Trey Petty, because there's been a lot of talk about the depth of this quarterback room. And while we don't expect to see Trey Petty play this year necessarily, his future is bright at the University of Illinois.
This is a guy they found, and Barry Lunny saw the tape. And he's from the same high school as Luke Altmaier, but he's not Luke Light. He's a little bit different than Luke. And when he's going to have a little bit more ability, you'll see a little bit more zone read action. Like right here, he's got the run-pass option there. And that's something that maybe Altmaier would have thrown. But in this case, you'll see Petty take off and run the football. I think you'll see some more zone read action, some more design quarterback runs.
His offensive coordinator, Barry Lunny, said the biggest thing that stands out about Trey Petty is he's a sponge. Wants more reps, more film study, more position meetings, which you don't necessarily get all the time from freshmen.
Right, you want a guy that's hungry to learn, especially your talented guys. You want your talented guys to be leaders and want to learn, and Trey Petty's shown that thus far.
4th and 3 for the true freshman from Starkville. Fake the handoff. Petty almost intercepted by Jaheim Clark. And the rest of his secondary buddies in his grill a little bit. They wanted to see the one-hand pick.
Yeah, don't force it in there. Petty will learn that right there. They call him Juice Clark. Juice had got his hand on it and kind of read that from the jump of that football play.
Hitting the end of the third quarter, one more to go. A running clock here in the second half from Champaign. It's been a fun, entertaining spring game. Saw a 40-yard touchdown to Alexander Kafka-Jones. We'll be back for the fourth after this. The legendary Red Grange had 4 touchdowns in the first 12 minutes of a game against Michigan 100 years ago. This is the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium, and going on right now, a pseudo Red Grange racer. It's about to start. He later in that game ran for a 5th touchdown and threw for a 6th. The dude just balled out in 1924.
The ghost galloped. Legendary. 100 years ago almost. And he is one of the, if not the greatest college football player.
He was wearing the leather helmet.
He was.
Back in the day. Yep. And here is a little Red Grange race between former Illini football players here for Alumni Weekend. You were part of that last night. Got to hang out and kick it with some former Illini greats.
Yep. And this is Tim McCarthy right here. He's the guy that Miles Scott Scholarship's named after, right? So Tim McCarthy, he actually was a Secret Service agent in the Reagan administration, took a bullet for President Reagan, and he'll be running the race.
First, we're going to have some kids kick field goals.
Oh,
so we're going to have to wait. These guys are going to have to keep the hammies loose.
Suspense.
It's spring football. We're just rolling with it. That kick was really nice.
Some really good velocity right there.
Here's a replay of the kick we just watched. Look at this. It's a bullet right down the middle. Okay, now, who you taking? I got orange or blue here.
I'm going orange, I think. I think the guy on the right is Rich Brennan. These guys both played in the early 70s. I'm trying to get my Illinois history right here. Yes, right. Rich Brennan is in blue, Tim McCarthy in orange.
We got a 3-point stance on both sides. Oh, a false start, but they're going to let him run anyway. And it is a blowout.
Wow, wasn't even close. Still got it. Secret Service agent, tough to beat a Secret Service agent like Tim McCarthy. with some absolute wheels.
That's some good sportsmanship there. Tim McCarthy, though, he's got some wheels.
He does it all, man. They know how to take, they know how to do the false start as well.
He was unfazed by the false start.
Well, so he went off of, Brennan jumped a little bit and blew. McCarthy, I think, reacted off of that and just went.
Honestly, the fact that both guys moved that well is impressive.
After 50 years, from playing, they both finished and didn't pull a hamstring.
And some photos in the end zone after the fact as we start the fourth quarter, just 10 minutes, and it is running clock. Trey Petty back in the shotgun at quarterback, first down. On a play action, Petty will get rid of it, and it is a complete, no it is not, it's an incomplete pass. He was looking for Tyson Rooks, a converted defensive back, getting some run at wide receiver.
Well, Tyson's got a long, lanky build, I believe out of the state of Georgia. He was a defensive back coming in, and then they moved him back to receiver. Certainly has the frame for it, has the length of a receiver. They talk about the farther away you play from the ball, according to Brett Bielema, the longer they want you to be. The closer you're to the ball, we're good with the wrestler build, like the Dylan Rosiak build, right? We're good with the Rosiak, Gabe Akis wrestler build. Akis was a state champion wrestler in the state of Florida, right? So you're close to the football, but hey, the farther away you get with them, we want some length, and that's why a lot of their receivers are 6'1" or bigger.
I thought that was such a fascinating explanation of how Brett Bielema evaluates talent when he's on the recruiting circuit. I've never heard a coach describe it that way.
We had not heard that, and I will say this. They say you can't teach speed, but you can't teach height.
Right.
And the length of someone determines, one, can they get extension when they're blocking someone, getting off a block? Can you put the appropriate amount of weight on somebody? If you got a 5'10" linebacker, hey, they might be able to get to 220, but you start getting wider rather than, cut up in what you need to be. As you see the wide receiver height graphic here, 9 of 14 wide receivers over 6'1" or taller. Tyson Rooks being one of them. Ashton Hollins, Malik Elzy being one of them. Pat Bryant being up there as well. Really, the slot receivers are just the midgets of the group, right? I mean, they are the ones that are tiny, and so Kanari Wiltshire, Hank Beatty, Mario Sanders. Speaking of Mario Sanders, he looks like an Isaiah Williams clone out there, number and everything.
Well, and all the tight ends are 6'4" or taller. You look at Cole Rusk, 6'5", 250, big body. One of their new additions. Speaking of new additions, of course, 3 new position coaches, and then earlier this week, Dre Brown hired former team offensive MVP and all Big Ten honoree, returning as the director of player personnel.
Dre Brown went to high school, DeKalb high school kid, and came to Illinois, battled through a lot of injuries, but probably his most famous game is he sealed the game in Lovie Smith's biggest win against then number 6 ranked Wisconsin, and paved the way for James McCourt to hit a game-winning field goal. Dre Brown, great to have him back, obviously with a great organization in Notre Dame, and now he's doing some play personnel. That's a whole different way the game has changed as well. There's player personnels and almost like GM, positions for college programs. I mean, because back in the day, the coaches had to go look at tape, find out who we were going to recruit. Now it's all player personnel departments.
That is a great play and coverage by Caleb Patterson.
Swanson in, telegraphs the ball a little bit. Wow, Caleb Patterson jumped on it, right?
Great break.
Got some twitch to him. Got some length, some strength, and some twitch. That's a good combo.
Swanson fumbles the snap, zips it out, and the catch made by Mario Sanders, who led the nation in JUCO last year in receptions, as Brooke Fletcher is standing by.
Yeah, guys, I have Gabe Akis and Seth Coleman with me now. Guys, you were really excited to be able to do this interview here together, but how has spring ball been going for you?
It's been pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. Just having a new coach, new staff has been pretty cool.
Yeah, how has that adjustment been? Because, having a new coach, you have to learn a lot more things. There has to build that chemistry. How has that transition been for you?
I think it's been great. Day in and day out, we just get to learn each other. I think we're just getting better and better.
From your game personally, what can we expect from you coming into this season, Gabe?
Just a hard-nosed player that goes hard every play. Doesn't make excuses. Just go out there and just be my best every play.
How about this guy over here in Seth? What can you tell us about him and what we can expect to see from him?
You're going to expect good things from Seth. He's a good player. I can't wait to see him this year.
Did you pay him to say that?
No, I didn't.
But just on this defense as a whole, I know you guys are missing some leaders, Johnny Newton being one of them. I was just talking to him a few minutes ago. What can you take away from what he was able to do here at Illinois and apply it to your game?
I think he's just a great leader. Showed us how to play football, really. And he was an all-around great player, you know.
Any advice that he's given you?
Just really not making excuses for yourself. Just work hard day in, day out. Just be the best person you can be, and just when it's time to when your name is called, just go out there and play and execute.
All right, I love it, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time. Best of luck to you this upcoming season.
Thank you. Have a good one. Have a good one.
Thanks, Brooke. Gabe Akis, a couple years ago was the first true freshman to win Freshman All-American in Illini program history. Came back last year, started 10 games, 9 at outside linebacker, and you know what he said? He said it wasn't good enough. I have to be better. And he is hungry going into the 2024 campaign.
He's a guy that they found late and only had to beat out Tulane in the recruiting battle. Comes in as a freshman All-American. Gabe, very powerful in small spaces. And Seth Coleman on the other side, very twitchy, able to bend a 6'4" frame. Those guys are future NFL guys. They believe Daniel Brown, the JUCO transfer, who came in here from Hutchinson Community College, can play as well. Alec Bryant, the Virginia Tech transfer, as well. The outside linebacker room, very, very talented.
Probably the deepest position group on the defense, according to Aaron Henry, and certainly the position group they expect the most out of.
Right. You look at the numbers of Akis, his production was down a little bit last year. He also didn't have 3 NFL defensive backs covering guys as well. So, your production goes down a little bit. The ball's getting out a little bit quicker, I would say. One thing they say is outside linebacker is the toughest position to play on this defense because of the run-pass conflict. They ask you to do so much. You've got to play the quarterback and the running back in the zone read game. You've got to be able to rush the passer. You've actually got to be in pass coverage half the time. You got to be a good blitzer as well.
There is Jacob Huber making a catch in the flat. Told you about him in the first half, a former equipment manager turned walk-on QB turned running back / receiver. Anything they need him to do in the spring game due to some injuries.
Athletic trainer.
Sure, why not? Add it to the resume.
Punter, 40-yard dash, entertainment during the breaks.
4th and 6 for Cal Swanson. Pressure up the middle, trying to dance out of the way. Swanson with his legs. And he will pick up the first down. Cal Swanson inside the 15 and nudged out of bounds. And that's the first time we've seen a quarterback end up on his backside in the spring game. He doesn't seem bothered by it. That was a heck of a run.
Yeah, look at him. So he's trying to go front side and then does the old wheel around, right? And then he's got all kinds of open grass. So that usually happens when the backside defensive end gets nosy and loses contain and there's nobody there. Kind of falls awkwardly. Glad he's okay.
29-yard run for Cal Swanson, who, like every other quarterback in the QB room aside from Luke Altmaier, has not yet taken a snap in a live game for the Illini.
Nothing like live reps.
Hey, coming up next, we are sending you to East Lansing for the spring showcase for Michigan State football. That is right after this game, right here on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Your biggest takeaways from the spring football game?
Well, it's always hard when you're playing against yourself. Is the offense good? Is the defense good? Or neither or both, right? And so my biggest takeaway is this. The number one thing Illinois has to do is shore up the offensive line if they're going to score more points. It looks like they've done that with a combination of developing guys and transfer portal guys and J.C. Davis. I think the biggest question I have is, can the defensive line in the interior, not the outside linebackers, hold up against some of the massive offensive line and run games we're going to be seeing?
Interception in the end zone, flag on the play. Cal Swanson was trying to zip it into Mario Sanders, and now Jacob Huber saying there's a safety there, scored by the offense.
Hey,
Don't see that very often.
He was a little excited about the pick, I think, right? So
Number 66. Penalties declined. 1st and 10 for the defense.
okay. So he got a pick. He comes out of the end zone and establishes himself, right? So he's out of the end zone right now. So does he run backwards himself? It does look like he runs backwards. I think that's a safety.
No video review here
No
for
video
the 2024 spring game. That was Elijah McCantos, another young secondary member that they're really excited about. Played 8 games as a freshman last year. You think about defense. The secondary last year played 4 true freshmen, 2 sophomores. They're all back this year with some game experience under their belts, plus some new members to the defensive line. It'll be interesting to see. You mentioned defense and what we saw between 2022 and 23. How does 24 take shape for second-year defensive coordinator Aaron Henry?
It's almost like Ryan Walters took the team, the Big Ten by storm in 2021 and 2022 with his style of defense. In 2023, the bottom defenses in the Big Ten were Purdue, Ryan Walters, and Illinois. It's almost like they got figured out a little bit.
Sure.
And some of that talent was gone, no question. But I think they got to find out what is their identity, right? Are we going to be a heavy pressure team where we bring 5, 6 guys? Are we going to bring a coverage team? Are we going to make people try to run sideline to sideline? Or are we going to try to attack and create chaos? So finding what that is in Aaron Henry, they've had to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what can we do with the guys we have here to be good?
And then offensively, of course, you lose your leading rusher, Reggie Love, to Purdue, but you do return Caden Fagan, who was the second leading rusher a season ago, and we've seen some great plays by Aiden Lawfrey today.
Right, and ultimately, if you can't run the football, you'll be exposed later on in the year. There's going to be a time you have to run out the game. You have to get a first down on 3rd and 1, right? And Brett wants to be a physical football team that runs first and passes second. I think that Barry Lunny, you look at what his history is, he likes to be balanced, but he also likes to air it out. So you have a combination of Brett and Barry, where Barry likes to air it out probably a little more is what I feel like, and Brett loves to run the football, and we'll see which one wins out. Later in the year, like we talked about, it was more throwing the football over the yard.
Trey Petty from the 15 avoids a sack and just misses his intended receiver, Mario Sanders, which is the other room we've talked a lot about this afternoon. And it bears mentioning again, Isaiah Williams gone, Casey Washington gone from the receiver room, plus Tip Ryman. So your top 3 pass catchers from last year have all departed. There's a lot of opportunity out there for some of these new faces.
Yeah, and there's the opportunity. We've seen Malik Elzy pop up. We've seen Ashton Hollins flash a little bit. Kapka Jones flash. Mario Sanders is a guy they think can be a slot guy that can batter with Kanari Wilcher and Hank Beatty. There's opportunity that abounds, and they're going to have to be able to throw the football to win football games.
Petty over the middle, and that's a touchdown. The true freshman has his first touchdown in an Illinois uniform to Bartolotta. And that might end the spring game just the way Barry Lunny wanted to see it done.
Throwing the football, right? That's what he loves. You can see Trey Petty look off and then comes back to his second option here. That's mature football right there, not staring down his guy. Bartolotta able to finish this spring season in style.
We will step aside at the conclusion of this one and bring you back to Champaign to wrap up the 2024 spring contest.